Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 25th RNCI Red Nation International Film Festival. You're visiting right now, joining us for our Indigenous Filmmakers Lounge. It's day 24, and the festival has been running. By the end of the month will be 30 days. We have, before we get into our spotlight film and our director, I'm going to chat with you a little bit and update you on what's been happening here with the festival. We have 105 films streaming right now on rednationff.com, and it's the holiday week, so you can binge watch all these gorgeous films coming from the native narratives, coming from our Indigenous perspective. They're all powerful, they're all gorgeous, they're all different, and I encourage you to visit rednationff.com to experience these films. 35 are directed by women. There's 73 documentaries. There's 12 student films and 10 experimental. We've been having events. We have a total of 16 events in this whole month of November. And make sure that you get your VIP Zoom room ticket for the RNCI Red Nation Awards this Sunday, November 29th. In that, if you have a ticket, which is limited seating, you will be able to experience and interact with all of our, filmmakers and presenters and nominees and winners and hosts. And it's really a special thing that we're doing. And so we'll be spotlighting on this VIP room. And we'll be able to hear you discussing, oh, I wonder who's going to win. I wonder who's going to get that. I wonder who's going to be best actress, best picture, best documentary feature, all of that good stuff. So go get your ticket now while you can at rednationff.com. And then we're going to conclude on November 30th with our signature event. It's our Red Nation concert series. We started off as a concert series 25 years ago. This is our 25th anniversary. Yes, we are still here. We are resilient, and we will continue on, and we are very, very visible. So I encourage you to join the fundraiser on November 30th. It's going to be our big celebration of our 25th anniversary, our American Indian Heritage Month. And we have Joe Walsh and Jennifer Warrens and Joanne Shenandoah and Corey Morton and just Hook Herrera. There's a whole roster of musicians that are going to be entertaining us for a full 90 minutes. It's going to be a blast, and we're going to fundraise, and we're going to raise a lot of money so we can continue on with these programs that we provide to globally, to everyone. And the concert is titled Artists in Solidarity in Creating Systemic Change Through Music, Art, and Media. So now I'd like to introduce to you our next spotlight feature on this gorgeous film. And it is Uma, A Water Crisis in Bolivia. And will you help me welcome our director, Ana Lancer?
Yacer. Ana Yacer.
Yeah, that's very, it's how do you say it's not Spanish? It's
yeah, it's Yacer. It has like an accent, like the Yacer. Yeah, I say in English laser, so people can. I say Ana Laser, and people understand.
Yeah. So, but there's that Spanish language. There's Spanish, and then there's the other. What is
Catalan. It? I mean, I speak Catalan too. Valenciano. I'm from Valencia, originally from Spain. And in Catalan would be Yacer with a T. It's spelled different. But in the region where I am, we say Yacer. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, this is an incredible film to watch and experience, and we're going to go into it. But it's Uma, A Water Crisis in Bolivia. It is nominated for Best Documentary this year at our RNCI Red Nation Awards. And something that we, we honor our winners with our Red Nation Award. And she was created by Alan Hauser's son, Philip Jesus, who's Apache. And so it's the most prestigious award in Indian country that we give our filmmakers. And so I'm very excited that Anna, your film is nominated. How does that feel for a first-time director?
Well, it's an honor. First of all, it's like like an honor, like somebody, like a film festival, like one of the oldest in the nation and one of the best indigenous film festivals in the United States, has selected our movie, just because it's been really hard for me since it's an independent movie. It's been really hard because it's my first movie. I put a lot of effort and time. We took 4 years to complete the movie. I was 1 year filming in Bolivia. So it's been, I'm a journalist originally. I didn't go to film school. So for me, like being nominated for Best Documentary in your film festival, it opens many doors and it's an honor. Just as I was telling you earlier, I think that this recognition, just being selected for the festival, is opening us doors for other film festivals, and it's actually an honor. I'm super happy. I don't know what else.
Yeah. We're happy for you. We love the film. And so instead of me reading a piece of paper, what the synopsis is, I'd love, as you as the director, as a first-time director, to share with the audience, what is your film about?
So Uma, A Water Crisis in Bolivia follows the fight of 3 indigenous communities in the Andes to protect their water supplies from diversion and mining contamination. And all this was filmed amid a water crisis. There was Bolivia was going through a water crisis between 2016 and 2017, where like the major cities in the country were running out of water, literally. So the government had to put in place, systems to give out water in communities in the major cities. So all this happened. I started to investigate when Lake Popo, the second largest lake in the country after Lake Titicaca, dried out. So that was something, since I'm a journalist, I started to investigate that. And then I found out that there's like a lot of mining operations going on around this lake through decades. It's been, this mining being done since the colonies, since the Spaniards went there. And so all these communities, what I found out when I did the field work is that they are migrating to the big cities because they cannot grow food anymore. So it's taking away their right to food sovereignty and autodetermination. All these cultures, there's like an ancient culture called the Uru Murato that they used to hunt and fish in this lake, that they had to migrate and even had to go to work into the mines because they have no other way of living, surviving. And what happens is that they are losing their culture, they are losing their languages, they are just going to main cities where there's not enough jobs for, it's like, it's not, they are farmers. So it's really hard because what I found out is many disturbed communities, like a lot of just the elders stay there, remain there, but the younger people, the younger generations migrate to the cities.
Wow. So when you were making the film, were there any ceremonies that you were invited to?
Yeah, there's like the Aymaras and the Quechuas, but mostly the Aymaras, they always do rituals And since they are they do the agricultural process, they have rituals for every part of the agricultural process. When they have to, they start seeding or recollecting the fruit and vegetables, they always have like this they call mesitas. It was like small tables where they put coca leaves, they put sweets, they put things that represent parts of their culture. I don't know. It's like they do alcohol, like alcohol that we put to heal. They
Yeah.
drink that too, and they chew coca leaves, and they burn it. Or even llamas, like baby llamas. They have all these really ancient rituals where they burn all this in a small table, and that's like giving to their gods.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
And
I,
in
go ahead.
yeah, at the beginning of the documentary, you can see Esther Balboa doing that. She's
Yeah.
actually doing a ritual where she opens the movie with the ritual and ends the movie with the same ritual, but just throwing into the water, burning. And she was asking, asking the gods to protect us for the movie, and that everything, because I mean, Bolivia it's been kind of unstable these last years politically and economically. So there's been a lot of they are going through a lot of trouble right now. And she was praying the gods for everything, for the movie, for everything to get better. So yeah.
So now I know spiritually why I personally have connected with this film, because I was gifted cocoa leaves. I have them. I haven't used them yet. Um, I just have just saved them.
Mostly what people use it for is because of the height. I have coca leaves in my tea when I'm in Bolivia, because that helps me with the height, so you don't
Oh,
get dizzy, you don't get
oh,
headaches.
ah,
So that's what they plant so much. So there's like two different coca kinds in Bolivia. One they planted for national consumption, like for chewing, for
yeah,
the and the other one is to do there's two different kinds. One is for tea, but mostly it's for consumption. So people in the Andes chew coca leaves all the time. Yeah.
so I can use mine for tea then.
Yeah, you can do tea, and it's really good actually.
Yeah,
I love it. When I'm there, I'm always doing coca, and I'm chewing coca leaves too.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
yeah. I chew bear root, which is way different.
Yeah,
um, so, you know, in at being a first time director, what was like and you're a journalist, which is amazing. Are you still doing that? Being a
No, I
okay,
actually I haven't been working as a journalist since I quit my job and then went to Bolivia to film. That
yeah,
was back in 2015,
ah,
and I've been doing other kind of stuff
yeah,
to live, to pay the bills while we were finishing up the movie.
yeah,
So and we finally finished it this year.
yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, it took me the investigation. It took me like 4 years to complete the whole thing, the pre-production, production, and post-production.
Hmm. And what was the process for you to go to Bolivia and get like the permission and all of that? Like, because you're a first time director, you don't know anyone, right? So you go there and share with us what that was like, because this is your vision, right? And you go, and I know when you have a vision, especially if a woman has a vision, you
Yeah,
have to go
exactly.
do it.
So it's been a little hard for me, especially because, as I told you, I never went to film school.
Yeah,
So I mean, I did broadcast. I studied journalism, and the concentration was broadcast for TV, but it's kind of it's not the same. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
So The thing is that I went to when the first time I went to Bolivia in 2015, I went there to help a friend. He's an actor and a producer too, and a director, film his documentary about children living in the streets. So I went there for 2 weeks, and we filmed all the kids that run away from home in Bolivia because of physical and psychical violence. So they run away from home because their parents, or the parents don't support them. So the city was called Cochabamba, which is like similar to California, where there's good weather and there's no, like they can live in the street. It's actually that's why there are so many. So he started to introduce me to a lot of filmmakers friends and a lot of activists. And they just started to tell me about all this problem that was happening with water, mostly in their city. And then I found out the water problem that is facing Bolivia. So that's when I started to investigate, and then I become friends with my best friend that he actually filmed, Diego Rebollo. He's one of my best. He has a movie out too. He's Bolivian, and then I made such a great friend. Like I still talk to them, and I'm in touch. I'm in touch with everybody in the documentary too. I try to keep in touch with everybody, and I love them. And I was so lucky because he and other people gave me a hand and helped me, and because I was by myself, I bought a camera and I went to Bolivia.
Wow, that takes a lot of courage.
That was it. I took my savings and I went to Bolivia. So, and I
Wow.
knew the people I have to talk to, but not everybody was open to talk to me. Mostly the Aymara people, the Aymara nation, are really close really close up, and they don't like people. Even though I speak Spanish, they know I'm not from there. Right. I don't look like them, and my accent is different.
Different.
So it took me a while. I was there for 3 months, and then I couldn't find my main character, which is Maria Luisa. I found her, but I was at the end of my trip, so I decided I couldn't stay longer because of my visa. So I came back, work. I did some freelancing work as a journalist. I worked for different publications, writing. I made a lot of money. I was working like for, I think it was 6 or 7 months, and then I went back to Bolivia. But this time, like my cinematographer, he came with me from Spain. He's from Spain. He's from Catalonia, actually, and he stayed with me for two months, and I stayed there for longer. And I didn't pay him a salary. I just paid him the flights. So most of the people that collaborated in this movie, they never got a full salary. They never got mostly they did it for symbolic money, or because they saw I was really passionate and they saw that the movie, they wanted to participate. So most of the people, so I'm really thankful with all the people that helped me along the way. And then this second year, I was able to actually film Maria Luisa in her house. I was able to film this. I don't know if the last part of the movie. I met this community which was kind of fighting back against this mining company, and they had like a consultation process. So I was lucky enough to be able to. They actually invited me to film this because they wanted somebody to document this, and this is really powerful because you see how this consultation process work, even though it's in the constitution and these people, the government gives the right to the communities to say if they want allow the company to get in their territory or not. It's not binding. That means that they, even though if they are against it, the last word is the Ministry of Mining has the last word, and most of the times the Ministry of Mining allows all the projects to go on and enter the territories. So you see how you see the mining representatives sitting next to the government representatives, and you see how these communities are pretty much by themselves with no legal help, with no money to, and they most of the time they just have to allow all these mining activities to develop in their territories, because Bolivia is a mining country. So it's really hard. It was really hard to see all these, and it's hard to, mostly because they are really poor, and they have, the only way they is their cattle, their llamas, and the food they grow. There's nothing else that they have. So it was pretty heartbreaking to see how all these processes occur in Bolivia, and mostly. And then the other thing I was lucky enough to film is that it was a Chinese company. So I don't know, China is kind of inserting, like going into all these countries in South America, and doing a lot of infrastructure, a lot of mining, a lot of oil. So I think that I haven't seen any documentary that tells all these, because I don't know if you heard, but mostly the leftist countries like Bolivia or Ecuador in the past, because now they are not, or even Argentina, all the governments that are from the left, they always criticize the United States, and the United States is taking all their natural resources. But now it's China. They are switching all this to the other empire, which is China. So this is really interesting, because you don't see, I don't think, I haven't seen many movies out, documentaries that talk about the Chinese going to, going to South America and working in all these open pit mines. And so that's what I was really really invested in. I wanted people to see, the switch of the empire, as they say. They are switching, and all the money that now is being borrowed from China is returned in natural resources. So they don't return the money to China in with interest. What they do is they return everything in natural resources, so minerals and gas. So that's the way they return. So there's all this massive extraction going on right now in Bolivia and other countries.
Wow. Completely blown. No words. My stomach is hurting right now.
And you see how these people, when they protest, there's a criminalization. Mostly during the Evo Morales government, he was the first indigenous president of the country, and he actually advanced and did many good things. But at the same time, he didn't do good things, as one of the miners says in the documentary, because there's a lot of problems with water. There's a lot of problems when it comes to mining and gas and oil exploration, where the communities are by themselves. They don't have any help. Anybody's helping them. So they mostly, the only thing they can do is migrate, because the water they have is not good. It isn't enough for drinking and for farming. So it's really sad. It's pretty sad.
So this then is so in regards to films being made that China's coming in, right? Would you feel comfortable saying maybe this is the first film that's introducing that?
I don't know. I don't want to put my hand in it. But I haven't seen many documentaries that talk about indigenous rights and Chinese extraction.
Right.
I haven't seen, probably there's some, I don't know. I just haven't seen any. That's probably because, I mean, I know there's a lot of fights with oil in Ecuador. I don't know if the companies that are there in Ecuador are Chinese, because honestly, I haven't looked at the company. I know there's a lot of, extraction, but I don't want to say that because I just would say that when it comes to and that's something that we've been advocating for. I was working, and we did a forum with Weekend International, which is the women's network. It's an ONG. We were advocating, and with another nonprofit from Bolivia, Reacción Climática, we were advocating for the passing of the Escazú Agreement, which actually passed this month, which advocates for environmental defenders. So they are, it's called the Escazú Agreement, and they are protected under the Escazú Agreement. All this, like, I don't know if you heard about Berta Cáceres and all these environmental defenders that have been killed in Latin America. So we have been doing advocacy for this Escazú Agreement to pass, and now it passed. Mexico was the last one to ratify it, so it's gonna go into force and it's gonna be implemented. I don't know how yet because we are waiting, but this is an advancement because all these environmental defenders, mostly of them in South America, are indigenous. And in the Amazon region. So this is really, I'm super excited and super happy to see that this is happening, just because at some point there will be like some kind of protection, and it's the conflicts that we are seeing right now, mostly when it comes to extraction of natural resources and mining and gas and oil exploration, is gonna be some kind of protection there for them.
So as we wrap this conversation up, I encourage you all that are listening and that will listen and experience this on the replay, is to this week go to rednationff.com and see UMA, the water crisis in Bolivia. And this is director Ana Lancer. And she's a first-time director. So this, and her film is nominated for Best Documentary Feature. So Anna, we're gonna take a few more minutes and wrap this up because I know you have an appointment, I have an appointment. So I have a lot of questions, but we're on a time restraint. But you know, what was your aha moment making this film? Like it could be anything from a challenging moment, a funny moment, a spiritual moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just really grateful that all the people, mostly the people that are telling their stories in my documentary, open their hearts and their houses to me and my team. And because I never, I never been, I don't know, like just welcoming a stranger from another country to your house and telling your life and your struggle. And it's been such an honor. And I just, I'm so grateful and thankful for all these people, incredible people that I met along the way in Bolivia, and who right now I can call friends.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I learned a lot spiritually. I didn't know anything about, the gods they worship, or Viracocha, or the creator for them, the Inca, the Inca god. So for me, it's been a life-changing experience, and I learned a lot from worldviews, from Aymara communities, Quechua communities, Urumurato communities, where they've been living out of their land, and they have their sacred mountains and their sacred water and lakes, and I'm really sad as an environmentalist to see these people suffering. It's really hard. It's hard.
Yeah. Well, what we can do from here is educate everyone, and you could visit UMA, a water crisis in Bolivia, at rednationff.com, and it is nominated for a Red Nation Award on November 29th. Okay, one last question. As a first-time director, what would you like to share your experience, strength, and hope to someone out there that's listening that may want to be a filmmaker, or someone that's already a filmmaker but may be in a struggle? Like what would be your words of encouragement?
So yeah, to don't get discouraged. I mean, if you want to make a movie, you want to make a documentary, make it. You don't need to go to film school. You don't. I learned this 4 or 5 years. It's been a learning experience for me, and I put a documentary out, and I never went to film school. It all depends. You are your own limitation. So all depends. You just gotta be keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And even though you're gonna hear a lot of people, or I applied for many grants that I never got, or for big film festivals that I thought were like, ooh, but then I realized that maybe, like, you just gotta keep going, even though they say no. And then there's other places, other venues, other, such as yours, where you give a voice to the, indigenous communities, indigenous filmmakers that we don't hear out there. Like the mainstream media or the mainstream, Hollywood is not giving all these voices out. So I think it's really important, all the work that you guys doing. And I'm so glad that this is the 25th. So
Yeah.
hopefully my next movie will be there too.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I just encourage everybody to keep moving, and this life is really short. So if you have a passion, if you want to make a movie, just buy a camera, take a camera. With your phone you can make a movie nowadays.
That's right.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, that's been the motivation this whole festival, from all the filmmakers. Just believe in yourself and just do it.
Exactly.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
So, well, thank you for making this movie. Thank you for the courage it took to go there by yourself with your camera. I admire you. That's just wonderful and inspiring. I want to thank everyone for joining us today for our Indigenous Filmmakers Lounge. And I encourage you to visit rednationff.com and see UMA, A Water Crisis in Bolivia, which is nominated for Best Documentary Feature. And you could buy a ticket to the award ceremony, which is on November 29th. So binge watch this whole week. It's the last week of seeing all Indigenous films, 105 gorgeous films, 35 directed by women. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Anna.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you at the awards on Sunday. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.